Okay, let's talk about dairy. Dairy allergens, I very often see a strong mental or emotional case. Basically, a large percentage of my bipolar, depression, anxiety, and mania patients have a dairy allergen. And of course, in a lesser degree, we see those symptoms in other patients. That's just the most extreme cases. But dairy allergens definitely have the ability to affect strongly mental, emotional health. A lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. Those patients come back very high to milk allergens. And we don't know why. We could speculate, but this isn't really the place for that. You don't want to hear me just talk the philosophy of healing. You want to find out the information for yourself. But definitely, if there's mental, emotional illness in the family, you have to definitely get this test and make sure there's not a hidden dairy allergen affecting them. Some other ones that have powerful influence on our health, and a lot of these ones that I think are coming up strongly as influencing our health, they tend to be protein sequences that can look like animal, including bacteria or virus proteins. So the milk and the eggs, often, they're animal proteins. So for some reason, they seem to match sequences that can be found in bacteria or viruses. And people tend to not look at their emotional state as an illness. Unlike other conditions where if you had a sore knee, you would say, oh, I just have a sore knee. If someone has an emotional imbalance, like depression or anxiety, maybe even insomnia, they tend to blame themselves for that. And I don't quite know why this is. Hopefully, as a culture, we'll grow out of this state. But more importantly, I just look at these as signs of the body being out of balance. And very often, these conditions are based on an inflammatory response to the protein found in dairy. I've had many cases of depression or anxiety that I've tested high to dairy. And the great thing about our testing is that we don't just check milk, we check the various components of dairy. So the protein whey, the protein casein, and also the hard cheeses, because your body may have a different response to milk than to cheese. Now, someone could say to me, why is that? Isn't milk in cheese? Yes, but the differences that you see between milk and cheese, for example, a piece of cheddar cheese and a glass of milk, are the actual difference in the proteins and the shape and the size that are in those substances. So you could be allergic to one and not be allergic to other. And that's why this kind of testing is really helpful, to really zoom in and understand clearly exactly what's going on. And my gosh, all these kids that I see that are judged by the teachers and their peers sometimes as being somewhat out of control, ADD, on the spectrum, or other things like that, are significantly improved by avoiding dairy if it's a food allergen for them. So again, we'll show some testimonials here from patients whose kids hopefully have been affected by avoiding milk as a food allergen. Really important to know which parts of dairy need to be avoided and which parts don't.